3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now. Call 1-800-778-1489. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher for donating. Call now, 1-800-778-1489. That's 1-800-778-1489.
You're listening to the flagship home of Lake County Captains Baseball. We are the talk of the land. AllSportsCleveland.com, Valley View, Cleveland.
Glad I don't have headphones.
At night and inside.
I'm definitely bringing that up on today's episode.
Oh yeah, got to.
What the hell? Alright, that was some technical difficulties here, but we're back.
It's still technical.
I wonder if this is because it's so damn close. So dang close. Check, checkity, check.
Okay, let's try this again. Sorry about those technical difficulties. But
We call those chirps.
No, they're not chirps.
Like a chirp.
All right. Welcome to So What's the Catch? Today is Wednesday, June 9th, one of the best days of the year. And we're kicking things off with Julio Jones getting traded from the Falcons to the Tennessee Titans.
Did this get made official yet?
Yes, it did.
Because I saw there was a lot of, the story kept changing over the weekend.
So, what can AJ Brown do for you?
Look at AJ Brown. But I'm looking at the Titans. I'm looking at their offense. I know we're getting really excited about everything because, you got AJ Brown, Julio Jones, Derrick Henry. But for me, what I see is this is a trade and a move that's his production is really only going to be dependent on what Ryan Tannehill can accomplish as a quarterback.
You know what's interesting about the whole thing is that before he got traded to Tennessee, Julio was saying, I want to go somewhere where the quarterback has a big arm. I don't feel like Ryan Tannehill necessarily has a big arm.
He's okay. I mean,
He's all right.
He's okay. The way I see what Ryan Tannehill is, in my opinion, is that he's on the higher side of the average quarterback tier.
I agree.
He's a guy that he needs a good supporting cast around him, a good system around him. Yeah. That system in Tennessee is basically just hand it to Derrick Henry and have him bowl people over.
Would you say he's better than Baker?
I would say Tannehill is better than Baker, yes.
Yeah, as of right now, I would say Tannehill is better than Baker Mayfield.
It might work out good, but I don't know too much about football. But I know Julio on Madden, he's a deep threat.
Yeah.
So I see why he wants a quarterback with a big arm, just to get that ball down the field.
You know what I wonder about, though? Is Tennessee has always built themselves on being a run-first team. And now you have two big-time wide receivers. So are they going to have to change their identity at all?
I don't think so, because I'll get into this. I guess I'll get into this right now. But you look at Tennessee's construction. They have a quarterback who's in the average tier of quarterbacks. You have a dominant running back in Derrick Henry, and you have two receivers in Julio Jones and AJ Brown. They've basically just copied the Browns' roster construction and did their own version of it, because the Browns have a very similar construction. They have a quarterback who's average, they have a dominant running back, Nick Chubb, they have Odell, they have Jarvis. And so it's just basically...
And don't forget Higgins.
But you think about it, it's just their version of it, so it's not like they're copying them, it's basically the same type of offense, the same type of style, and they run a very similar scheme. Now that scheme and those play calling may change a little bit now that Arthur Smith is no longer in Tennessee.
He's the head coach in Atlanta, coincidentally enough.
So it might be a little bit different, but I can't imagine them straying too far from what got the team to where they are currently.
How's their O-line and D-line?
Their O-line is not as good as Cleveland's, but it's not bad.
I'm surprised they went out and
What was that?
Is it winnable?
It's winnable.
Yeah. I'm surprised they went out and traded for another wide receiver because it's Tennessee's defense that's more of the issue.
The thing that I was most interested about with this trade is that actually Tannehill had to restructure his contract to make it work, and that's just not something you see. Like, you still see it, but the players that are willing to do that to me always seem like team players. Mm-hmm. So he's investing in the the team, but we don't really. We haven't had that yet.
No, we haven't. We haven't had that yet. I think some of those moves are coming up
Probably
on the horizon.
Who would take a pay cut on our team?
Who would
Say that again?
You said Tannehill was taking a pay cut for Julio?
He's restructuring his contract.
Yeah.
So
Who would restructure his contract on the Browns currently?
Yeah.
I'm looking at two key people, and that'd be Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr.
Do you think Nick Chubb would be willing to restructure his contract?
He has to get a new contract first, and I'm not sure he's going to get a new contract. That's a different story for a
Did
different
anybody
day.
see Julio landing here? Because
That was a topic of discussion. I never saw it happen. I never saw it
in
happen.
my head, I had two scenarios. I had the Patriots or the Packers. Only because I thought if he went to the Packers, they could try to get Rodgers to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Patriots, I just saw he was coming off injury.
The total Patriots move, right?
Yeah, it makes sense.
As
And
far as
both quarterbacks got big arms.
as far as the Browns are concerned,
Well,
though,
Patriots,
as far as the Browns are concerned, that'd be great for video, not great for audio. But anyways, as far as the Browns are concerned, I know a lot of people were trying to connect those dots. I just never saw it happening because they're either people were getting way too invested in their fandom and being like, we're going to add Julio to who we already got. We're going to have Julio, OBJ, Landry, Chubb. I'm like, whoa. If you're getting Julio, you're getting one of those guys.
Right.
Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, even if you were to swap those guys out, did you get better? I don't think you did.
I agree with you.
That'd be a lateral move. And let's pretend for 1 second that they did somehow manage to add him to what they already have.
That would be crazy. But
It would be crazy, but you'd be, in that sense, changing your identity as an offense because you would have so many receiving weapons.
Yeah.
You'd be tempted to pass the ball more because of those weapons.
he was the target mostly.
And that's why I'm saying maybe Tennessee shouldn't have made this move because they're always a run-first team with Derrick Henry.
But now they have two guys to throw to. They had A.J. Brown and the corpse of Corey Davis to throw to last year. Okay.
Corey Davis is all right.
Corey Davis is trash.
Is he good?
I think he.
So you think he'll revive his career with Zach Wilson in New York or New Jersey?
I mean, it's possible.
I don't think
Anything's
anything's possible
possible.
there. But let's look at the AFC now because honestly, the Chiefs are still at the top of the AFC. Does this put the Titans in second?
No, Buffalo is still in second to me.
Yeah, I would agree with him on that.
Okay, where'd you put the Titans then?
Titans, I would put them, if I had a 3A, they would be 3A, Browns would be 3B.
Who was first?
I think the Titans.
Kansas City,
Kansas
Buffalo.
I think the Titans are like a 4th or 5th seed team. in my opinion.
the Browns aren't scheduled to play the Titans at all this year
No,
either.
they're
So
not.
I'm actually kind of happy about that now.
So I'd probably go with Kansas City, then I'd go Buffalo, then I'd go Tennessee, and then I would go Cleveland.
Okay, so you kind of have the same order I do.
Yeah, but I'm making that definitive difference between Tennessee.
I'm
and
going off
Cleveland.
all of you, so if you let me down, we have problems.
The only reason I'm not definitively putting Cleveland behind Tennessee like you are is because I think they're so similar in their play style that they're almost mirror images of each other. So that
the one thing, and we'll talk about this a little bit later when we talk about the Browns, is just there's a little bit of turnover, a little bit of transition on one side of the ball that I'm concerned with. But
I think there's a lot more leadership with the Titans too,
Right.
and it's been in existence there. It's been there for more than one season.
and it
So
makes a huge difference.
Right.
world of difference. But let's flip this to the other side of the coin of this trade of Atlanta. What is happening with the Falcons? Because Julio Jones is gone. They have Calvin Ridley. They just drafted Kyle Pitts. Matt Ryan's still there.
Matty Ice.
What is going on with the Falcons?
Well, they're not. I wasn't expecting them to be a factor in the NFC South to begin with. That's Tampa Bay's division to lose. But now,
Just gonna win. So
now that Julio's not there, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Falcons finish in last place in the division.
Rebuild year.
You go last
Well, that's
place?
the thing. I don't think that the Falcons messed up necessarily by trading Julio Jones. I feel like they messed up by not also trading Matt Ryan and a bunch of other people to get that full rebuild. You're right with the full rebuild idea, but this doesn't.
They need to continue the roster turnover. So I think what could happen, and I think this is maybe what they're waiting out for, is we all know some quarterback's going to have a season-end injury in preseason. It's going to happen. Or they'll find a quarterback needy team, Green Bay, that needs to get someone to pony up the capital to get a quarterback to maybe keep them in contention, or if they think that's the difference between them and getting over the hump, over the hump.
The Packers got Jordan Love.
But Jordan Love has not gotten good reviews for anything he's done, and honestly, I think his presence alone is a distraction because of how much it angered their franchise quarterback.
Well, that's why he wants out at this point. I mean, it's a lot of things, but that started the fire.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It could have been always burning.
I see you making the Billy Joel right.
Hey, by the way, AJ, didn't you have something you wanted to point out about Church while he's in there making Bruce Springsteen references?
Billy
Joel, whichever.
We were in class together. He didn't have these on. Now he has on shades.
He has on
what's
shades in
going
the
on,
church box.
Yeah, why are you wearing shades?
You wear your sunglasses at night?
He does, Corey Hart.
No, it's just like the church box is the cool place to be. This is where all the magic's made.
Oh, okay.
He's keeping it cool.
Yep.
Church's keeping it cool in the church box.
We like it that way.
All right.
So
long as you're happy. Do that every Wednesday, though.
Yeah, that's gonna be your thing moving forward, Church.
The glasses.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keeping it cool with the shades.
We're gonna keep it. I had them on and off before, but now it's the first time.
Now it's a thing.
If you take them off, we will call you out on it.
You have backed yourself into the corner of wearing shades. Real quick, any other team besides Tampa or LA that's going to be relevant in the NFC? Give me one team. Josh, go.
49ers, if healthy.
The Rams.
Other than the Rams.
What?
Other than Tampa or the Rams, who in the NFC is going to be good?
I could see New Orleans still being good.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have to go with New Orleans, I think.
Also,
Okay. I'm going Dallas because I believe in my man Dak Prescott.
I just can't anymore.
Mike McCarthy's a total clown, but I believe Dak Prescott will override the ineptitude that exists with I'm going to pretend to embrace analytics Mike McCarthy just to get the job and say I don't care about them in the opening press conference.
You know, I was never a Cowboys fan, but I was somebody who used to bet with the Cowboys because they had a tradition of winning.
Yeah.
They had a tradition of winning.
They're not America's team anymore.
And with that, we're going to head to a break. When we come back, we're talking NBA playoffs and who won the NBA MVP?
I knew something had to give. I was overweight, I didn't exercise, and my doctor told me I would most likely develop diabetes if something didn't change. Fortunately, I joined a program that helped me make healthier choices, like eating better and being more active. The YMCA's Diabetes Prevention Program was a wake-up call that really changed my life.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention predict that 1 in 3 Americans could have diabetes by the year 2050. The WISE 12-month lifestyle modification program is part of the CDC's National Diabetes Prevention Program, where the goal is to prevent the onset of type 2 diabetes. For those who qualify, the program is covered through United Healthcare and Medicare. To find where the program is available in Ohio, visit ymca.net/diabetes. Take control of your health. This message sponsored by the Ohio Department of Health, aired by the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
When Frank De Lorenzo returned home from Iraq, things did not go smoothly. De Lorenzo was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder and a traumatic brain injury. But De Lorenzo found an unusual solution: Sophie. Sophie is a pit bull rescued from the Cleveland Kennel. With proper training, Sophie can now remind De Lorenzo when to take his medication, wake him from his nightmares, and essentially watch his back. With all the success De Lorenzo had with Sophie, he decided to start Wags for Warriors, a non-profit-based organization in Northeast Ohio started to help service men and women that have been affected by their combat experience. They work with local rescue organizations to match the veteran with an appropriate dog and provide all the training and support with no cost to the veteran. To find out how you can support Wags for Warriors, call 330-285-3941. Again, that number is 330-285-3941.
This is a guided meditation on parenting. Take this time to breathe deeply and close your eyes. Right now, you're completely in control. Unlike the time you and your son played basketball and you attempted to slam dunk, or when you tried removing those raccoons from the basement. Concentrate on the soothing sound of my voice. Release the memory of when you wrestled with that beehive in your son's treehouse. Let go of the time you thought that skunk was a cat, or when you pulled into the garage with your son's bike on top of the car. Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to AllSportsCleveland.com, your home for the best high school basketball in Northeast Ohio.
The NBA playoffs are going, and honestly, they're taking a kind of a strange turn. I mean, the Nets are up 2-0 on the Bucks. The Sixers are 1-1 with the Hawks. The Jazz are up 1-0 on the Clippers, and tonight the Suns are playing their second game against the Nuggets as they lead that series 1-0. But speaking of the Suns, that's what we're going to start with because they knocked off the Lakers.
The defending champs.
They knocked off LeBron.
I am not sad to have this playoff without those two.
I'm not either.
I think I read somewhere that this is going to be the first NBA Finals matchup since like 2010 without the Spurs, Warriors, Spurs, Warriors, Heat, or the Lakers.
Did you know also these history of all these teams and their playoff droughts and not going to the finals in such a long time? So we're gonna have a new champion, basically.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad the Lakers got knocked out because it means we're gonna have a new champion.
It's refreshing.
My point is just LeBron. It was great when he won here in Cleveland, but ever since that happened, I've been so tuned out on any of the NBA playoffs after that because it's a foregone conclusion for those couple of years how it was going to end.
Pretty much. And last year, I'll be honest, I was rooting for the Lakers last year.
Yeah, okay? Same here.
And I'll explain why. The moment Kobe died last year, I knew it was written in the cosmos. The Lakers were destined to win that title. Yep. The universe was coming in to be like, we took Kobe away from you, but you know what? The Lakers are going to win for Kobe, in honor of Kobe, in his memory. And they did. So that's why I was rooting for that to happen. I'm like, and they did. And that was awesome. But looking to this, how things are going now, the Nets are unstoppable. They're housing the Bucks. It's a joke. Yeah. Without James Harden, they're blowing them out.
We talked about this.
Do you think James Harden would have made it worse for the?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Sure. You ever play 2K on like rookie mode where you just can drain threes and win by 60? That's what it would have been.
Yeah.
Because we talked about this last week. Like, who did we have winning if we saw the Lakers lose? Mm-hmm. Obviously, I have the Nets now, but we said last week the Nets versus Bucks. That's going to come down to the bench, and it looked like the Nets are proving it right.
Yeah. Weren't we even saying like Nets versus Bucks is like Durant against Giannis? Which did you hear about all this stuff Durant was saying about to like Jay Williams, who's an NBA analyst for ESPN? He's like, stop comparing me to Giannis.
Yeah, I heard about it in reading.
That's been disputed from the moment it was said. So
I just think comparisons in general, it's like compare and contrast instead of like saying that they're the same player.
Yeah, but so I want to ask you guys a question. So, have you guys seen what the Hawks are doing with Trae Young and all that? Mm-hmm. How much fun would that be with a series between them and a healthy, prime Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors? I'm not asking who would win, but would you enjoy watching that series?
I mean,
no, and here's why. The Warriors would beat them by 60.
Yeah, I kinda, but like, cause I feel like the Hawks are like a younger ish version of the Warriors, just because Herter, Trae Young, and then I don't know who was Draymond on that team.
Bogdanovich too.
Yeah, Bogdanovich.
I would say John Collins is probably Draymond.
Yeah,
Would you
that'd
say
be a good series, but Warriors will win.
John Collins is more like a David Lee?
But
like when they were starting to
a little more athletic.
Right. I agree with you that the Warriors would win that series, but I think it would just be a lot of fun to see like the battle between Steph and Trae Young for the title.
And here's where I'll push back on that. The Warriors are such a good team that they can score so quickly that if you've ever seen a team try to go up against one of those prime Warriors teams and they just have to resort to just chucking up threes for an entire game, that type of game sucks. It is horrible to watch.
Because you're playing right into what they want.
Exactly. You're chucking up threes, you're missing them, and here's what happens. Oh, look, Klay Thompson on a fast break for an easy layup, or a pull-up three, and he drains it because he's Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
That's a fair argument. I totally understand.
I'll be honest, like, this playoffs it's kind of been fun for me to watch, just because, like, I know nobody's about to get blown up by, like, 60, which...
Except for right now.
Yeah. We know which team, but,
yeah.
Like, I was watching the Clippers Jazz game. That was very entertaining. The Nuggets games are entertaining. The Suns are entertaining. It's just fun to watch.
All the games have been entertaining
Even
again.
in the last round, they were very entertaining with the Mavs.
Even the play-in ones.
Now,
you know who's looking real good is the Suns.
Yeah.
Yes, they look scary.
And does my boy look good?
Mikal Bridges. Okay, I gotta give you. I'm actually gonna give Shirk a little bit of credit because Bridges played well in Game 1 of that series.
He was balling out.
So for Game 1 of this series,
we got big shot, Mikal.
Okay, don't push it.
He might bridge the gap in the.
Okay, Chirk, stop. Just stop.
All right, so
more of the cringeworthy jokes coming at you.
No. Always, forever from Shirk. Let's look at the other team that the Suns are facing. That'd be the Denver Nuggets. More specifically, NBA MVP Nikola Jokic. Now, I'm actually surprised they voted for Jokic.
I thought Embiid was.
I think Jokic is a very good player. I'm not taking anything away from his ability.
Oh, no.
But he is boring. And I think that they wouldn't vote for him because he's a boring player.
I can see he's kind of boring. He's like my favorite center in the league. But I see where you say
when's the last time a true center won?
That was
Shaq. Big man.
I want to say Shaq.
That was Shaq. Shaq was the last center to win it.
Yeah. On your note about Embiid, Chirk, I think I saw that Embiid only got one first place vote.
Really?
Yes.
Derrick Rose got one too.
Yeah, Derrick Rose got one.
Jesus.
Who was in second place?
I'd have to look that up.
I can look. It's on.
But Jokic became the first player in Nuggets history to win the MVP.
I'm getting behind Derrick Rose for MVP.
Well, he didn't win, so.
Next year. There's always next year.
Oh, the classic Browns fans saying.
No, you go first.
So only the first center since Shaq to win. He won it in '99, 2000. He's only the fourth center to win since 1993, and prior to that, 1983, Moses Malone.
The person with the
not a lot of big men went in.
No, the person that was second with the most first place votes was Steph with 5.
That's not surprising considering what Steph did this season. Yeah. But
I will say though, the Nuggets, if they were healthy, I feel like it would be a better series. It's still going to be a good series, but if they had like Jamal Murray, they would definitely be competing.
What's their current point guard's name?
Monte Morris?
No, not him.
Composer?
Yes. I think Campazzo or something.
He's actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
He was good in Game 1, but
he cooled off in the second.
Yeah, but I want to talk about something with Game 1. That crowd at Phoenix, I think it's called Phoenix Suns Arena now, was...
Oh, they changed it back?
Yeah, I guess it's not Talking Stick Resort Arena, which is what it used to be.
Oh, too bad.
But,
it's Phoenix Suns Arena.
I love looking at, that's one of those obscure topics that I love looking at and investigating is crowd noise and how much it affects, the game itself. that crowd at Phoenix Suns Arena for Game 1 was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think it made a huge impact on the game.
I empathize a lot with Phoenix because their franchise, just in general, is kind of similar to Cleveland. Like, just hasn't like been to the big one, or if they have been to the big one, they haven't won it yet.
Right.
But they have pretty similar history in their sports town like ours.
Yeah, they have a couple moments where the team's relevant, then a long period of time where they suck.
Yep.
Who do you think's winning tonight?
Phoenix.
I'm going Phoenix.
In a close game, though. Close.
You think it comes down to the last shot or like overtime or something?
It's good. Yeah, I'm going to say it goes to overtime.
Now, interesting question for the Nuggets. Do you think they'll bring Bol in at all in the playoffs?
I feel like they should.
They should. They should.
He got game.
How many playoff minutes has he played so far?
Not. He doesn't really
He
play
played
any
like
minutes.
1 or 2 minutes of the first game.
So, I want to go back to the first round for a second, because Denver eliminated Portland, thank you. Now, Portland let their head coach Terry Stotts go after 9 years, I think it was. And so their superstar point guard, Damian Lillard, said he wanted Jason Kidd. But Jason Kidd said that he doesn't want the job. So who should the Trailblazers hire to be their next head coach?
You. I tried.
That's just not realistic.
I'm like kind of on where I feel there's gonna be a big free agency this summer, so I don't know.
And you're probably gonna want to like jump over here.
If you say Mark Jackson, I'm gonna backhand.
I'm just gonna watch.
I'm just gonna stay silent then.
Here is a suggestion that I just thought of. Becky Hammond.
That would be good.
I like that move. What about Chauncey Billups or Sam Cassell? Do you like those moves?
No,
not so much. But Becky Hammond's she's been in San Antonio. She's learned from one of the best coaches ever.
Exactly. So
Portland needs kind of a little bit of a reset, a little bit of a shuffle. And I think she's the right person to handle that kind of shuffle.
Especially if Portland gets, I feel like they're one piece away from like to keep advancing in the playoffs instead of first round exits. If they get a solid wing, I feel like they'll be good. Because I know we're going to talk about Kemba later. Yeah, I feel the same way about the Celtics. They need more pieces.
Yeah, and I said this a couple weeks ago when Lillard dropped his 55 points, but how is it that Game Time can drop 55, a record-setting 12 three-pointers, and the Trailblazers still find a way to lose? That's not acceptable.
They don't have depth.
That has been the history of
They traded away like 2 players earlier in the season.
To me, that's not forgivable. No way.
They just don't have depth, and that's what it is. They need to do a little bit of a shuffle or a reset of the franchise with some of their players on their roster. I know there's been rumors about C.J. McCollum, and he might be on the move. I think maybe moving him might actually clear things up for some other guys like Dame, like whoever else they bring in this summer to improve the roster, and whoever that their new coach wants to bring in as well. But right now, we do have to hit a commercial, and when we come back, we are continuing Jeremy's now famous football quiz, and then me and Josh are going to get into it about what sport we think is more unpredictable.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer: the drug facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the drug facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/drug facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and cancer. The FDA recommends using a sunscreen with a sun protection factor, or SPF, of 15 or higher. Also, look for broad spectrum on the label. That means both harmful ultraviolet A and B rays are blocked. UVA rays age the skin, UVB rays burn, and both cause cancer. But the perfect sunscreen doesn't count if you use it wrong. Don't need sunscreen on a cloudy day? Wrong. 80% of UV rays still get through the haze. Only use sunscreen at the beach? Nope. Anytime you're outside, UV rays attack the skin, so you need protection. And you have to reapply sunscreen every 2 hours. Remember, SPF plus broad spectrum equal healthy fun in the sun. Visit www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Bad theater seats, cheap Halloween masks, my apartment, all things with obstructed views. Add to these large trucks and buses. 18-wheelers and large buses have big blind spots, and like my apartment, they don't always have the best view. Bus and truck drivers deal with blind spots around the entire vehicle. Always take care not to ride alongside or too close behind them. Our roads, our safety. Learn more at sharetheroadsafely.gov.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer: the drug facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the drug facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/drug facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Adopt U.S. Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just got invited to the prom. Do you A, meet her date?
I need to see your past day report cards, your driver's license, a list of references, and this hair sample.
B, help her pick out a dress.
Don't you just love the long sleeves and turtleneck on this pantsuit?
Ugh.
C, attend the prom undercover.
Mom, what are you doing here?
I'm not Mom. I'm Calvin, the new kid at school.
Or D, capture her big moment.
Let's take a photo of you two. I'm in the middle.
When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to your exclusive home of the 2017 Barron Cup, allsportscleveland.com.
Hello and welcome back to So What's the Catch? Go ahead there, Chirkadurk.
Before we move on to the next topic, I want to say I think we could get CJ McCollum if we trade Colin Sexton.
Okay, and let's go back to Kramer.
Can we get a different producer if we trade Chirk?
Yeah.
Do you think that's like a possibility? Is there a trade option for that?
I'm so good I got a no trade clause.
There's Kramer right there.
But anyways, we're getting back into the football quiz last week. Josh took a L, but we are back with the rest of it.
Champion right here.
We have
This
11 questions left.
Yes, but I feel rejuvenated, so
11 questions left.
Wheaties this morning.
First to six technically wins, but we can go through all of them.
Okay.
So number one for this week. When did a Buffalo what did a Buffalo fan hit Chuck Foreman in the eye with during a game, ending his chance of winning the NFC rushing title in 1975?
Battery.
Football?
No, snowball.
Oh, snowball. Okay.
I wanted to give you a hint on that, but it didn't work.
What was your hint?
Well, I was trying to mention that it was something that they would be able to pick up right there off the field. I guess either of those would have worked.
Yeah.
A food item.
Who was involved as a player or coach in 3 Super Bowls with the Cowboys, 2 with the Eagles, and 1 with the Bears? Player or coach in 3 Super Bowls, Cowboys, 2 with Eagles, and 1 with the Bears.
Is that Tom Landry?
It is not.
Buddy Ryan.
We are 0-0 through the first 2 questions. Mike Ditka.
Oh, come on.
Where have I heard that?
Look, this next one is such an easy question. It's going to come down to timing, so listen closely.
All right.
How many football teams play in the Big Ten Conference?
11.
That's James 1.
Yeah, he got that, but we both knew it.
What Vikings quarterback has been called the NFL's original scrambler?
Fran Tarkenton.
I actually did not know that.
I knew that one.
What nickname did NFL great Lance Allworth share with a Disney movie title character?
Cinderella?
No. You got the right idea, but no.
Am I not allowed to guess again, or?
We'll allow it. We'll give you a handicap. Any guesses?
Snow White.
Bambi.
Bambi.
I was
about to say Hercules.
How many years must a player be retired to be eligible for the Pro Football Hall of Fame? 5. You are correct. So I got 3-0 so far. What was Miami quarterback Bob Grease, the first NFL football player to wear in a game in 1977?
Headset.
No.
I don't know on this one.
Foam?
No, it's not a phone.
Pager.
It is not a pager. So I think that might even been before pagers. 1977, first NFL player to wear it in a game. So just throw a guess out. What would an NFL player? No.
Wristband?
No, I'm gonna have to call it. It was glasses.
Glasses.
Oh.
Do you wear like the cream goggles?
That's a good question.
These glasses or goggles?
I know Bob.
I assume normal glasses. What pro football franchise did Tim Mara buy in 1925 for just $500?
Giants.
The New York Giants.
Yeah, he got it.
The problem that Josh has is he knows some of these answers, but he's not quick with it.
Yeah.
Gotta be snappy.
Who had the most rushing yards in the NFL for the 1980s?
Emmitt Smith?
No.
Walter Payton.
Eric Dickerson.
Correct.
Whoa, Church on the board.
Yeah, I knew that one.
What record-setting quarterback was the NFL's 82nd draft pick in 1979?
1979.
Record-setting quarterback, 79. He was the 82nd draft pick.
82nd?
And it's somebody who would go on to make quite a name for himself, but you could probably glean that from the question.
Do you have a college?
I do not.
Can I give him a hint?
You can give him a hint.
Notre Dame.
Joe Montana.
Joe Montana.
I did not know what college he played for, honestly.
Yeah, he went to Notre Dame.
There's 2 more left, so we can already say that James won.
James won.
Let's see if Chirk can steal anymore.
I'm just slow on reaction time.
At this point, you're losing to him and Chirk, so.
What elusive, see if you can get one, you'll be tied with Chirk.
I'm trying.
What elusive Detroit running back?
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders.
I need to get to the question.
You said elusive Detroit running back.
Yeah, that's
Sanders.
Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Well, apparently he's been dubbed the Lion
It
King.
could be Billy Sims, though. It could be Billy Sims.
Nobody talking about Billy Sims.
Last question. Who did the New York Giants beat by 1 point in the closest Super Bowl ever?
Buffalo.
And you get 1. James locked it in. He gets 1. Or Josh, I mean. So now it is, 3-1-1.
All right, what's the final score there?
That is 3 James, 1 Chirk, 1 Josh. So for the second week in a row, James is Trivia King.
I don't like them ties, though.
We could work on another sport topic too. So if we want to do like for
basketball,
because we got these. So we can do some basketball next time. I'll look at a basketball quiz.
Nobody wants boxing. I got a bunch of boxing.
Or we could do UFC.
Yeah.
It's basketball's good timing right now. We're gonna do basketball.
Yeah, let's do basketball next week. That sounds good. But the other half of this segment, we got me and Josh arguing about what sport's more predictable, hockey or baseball. I say it's baseball. He says it's hockey.
Yeah, this has been an argument that's like
for months,
carried over for months. So
yeah.
But Josh, state your piece.
So the reason I say it's hockey is because there's constant action. Players are changing in and out. And you don't know when a great save is going to happen. You don't know when a goal is going to happen. And as I said, there's constant action. You don't know if a game's going to go into overtime, tied 2-2, for example. There might be a shutout. There's just so many variables.
I understand what you're saying, but I feel like you get all those things in baseball as well.
But with baseball, you're just sitting there waiting for something to happen.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do for you. I am going to make the argument of why baseball is more unpredictable. So, do you know how many pitches Yu Darvish throws?
At least 100.
No, like types of pitches.
Oh, 4 or 5.
He throws 10.
I did not know that.
He throws 10 different kinds of pitches.
It's 10 different types of pitches.
Yeah.
I just knew the knuckleball, curveball, regular, and slider.
Splitter.
You know, just 4-seam fastball, 2-seam fastball, cut fastball, changeup, Vulcan change, slurve, church.
Forkball.
That's a lot that I didn't know.
That's why pitching's so awesome.
And so that's just the pitches the types of pitches he throws. Now, there's the unpredictability of the location of those pitches. Okay. There's also the unpredictability of how much assistance he's getting on those pitches, which we'll get into that a little bit later. How much stuff is on the ball will change how much the ball rotates, which means if it's a fastball, it's going to rise a little bit more. If it's a curveball, it's going to spin faster into the dirt.
Right.
So I'm just talking about the unpredictability of one pitch here.
And I love pitchers too,
and that's before we get to what happens when the batter actually swings the bat. Is he make contact? If he does, is it a hit or is it a foul ball? Does it go into the ground? Does it go up in the air? Does the ball, when it hit to a player, does he field it? Does he botch it when he's going from his glove to his hand? Is the throw a little bit off?
And the one thing I'd throw in with that is over that long of a season, I always felt like you really get to see who the best team is that way.
Right. But although with hockey, you usually get to see like your team, whether that's the Columbus Blue Jackets, Pittsburgh Penguins, Detroit Red Wings, whoever, they usually play everybody. It's just that this season, COVID changed things up, so...
What I wanted to ask, though, about hockey was how long is their season?
82 games.
All right.
How long is baseball?
162.
I still feel like you get so much of a better...
And for example, to continue on the pitching thing for a second, do you know how many pitches were thrown total between last night and the Indians and Cardinals game? 303. That's 303 times of unpredictability before the ball even leaves the pitcher's hand.
Is there a percentage next to that? Like how many were hit?
There were, let's see, there were 21 total hits.
Do you know how many times...
303 pitches.
Do you know how... I can't even keep track of how many times, like...
That's a lot.
Like, the puck changes hands. You can't... When you're at a hockey game, it's not like you can sit there and chant, defense!
Well, there's only one way we can settle this.
Soccer's like that too.
Because your team could lose the puck immediately.
There's only one way we can settle this on this show, so we can be done with it. All right? We have 3 of us that are not involved in this conversation.
Really quick, before you do that, can I ask 2 questions?
Yeah, you can ask whatever. They can get final arguments for all I care.
I didn't know this is a court case.
There's 3 juries.
Sports have draws. Like, no, it's football. It's a draw. It just stops playing.
There's no draw in baseball. There's no draw in hockey.
No.
However, that does not impact into their hockey's standings get all messed up because of overtime games. Baseball is just win or loss. That's it.
And that's not a question. That's 7%.
That's 7% of all the pitches that came out as a hit.
Okay.
Not how many times they hit the ball, but what was actually a hit.
Okay. All right. That's wow.
Chirk, you got any questions?
Chirk, any questions?
Baseball ain't my specialty, but I think I might need to learn just a little more.
Well, the question I'm going to put forth then for the 3 of us, and I'll start, is obviously baseball or hockey. I'm going baseball.
I'm going to go baseball.
Yeah, I'll probably go...
Unanimous.
I'll go baseball.
Okay, I still stand by my argument.
I'm 2-0 in this segment over Josh.
Because, like, how long is a hockey game normally?
About 60 minutes.
Of actual playing time, it's probably about 2 hours.
About 2 hours, yeah.
Baseball is 3 hours, 4 hours, depending on who's pitching that day.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a lot of time. Anything could happen.
You know, pitcher could step off in between pitches. You know,
like
pitch out.
6 home runs happen.
Exactly, but you know, when we get back, we're gonna take a little break here, but we're gonna bring it back to football. We're talking about Baker Mayfield and Browns OTA, so stick around for that.
Wags for Warriors is a non-profit-based organization in Northeast Ohio, started to help servicemen and women that have been affected by their combat experience. Wags for Warriors works with local rescue organizations to match veterans with an appropriate dog and provide all the training and support for the dog at no cost to the veteran. Follow us on Facebook for event information or call us at 330-285-3941. And remember, the war may be over for them, but the battle has just begun. Right now, many families are getting ready for the holiday season, shopping for loved ones, wrapping gifts and decorating the tree, anxiously awaiting the big day. But for many people, right here in our area, there will be no Christmas presents without your help. Toys for Tots is a top-rated charity with 97% of donations going to providing toys, books, and other gifts to underprivileged children all over the country. While you search for that special gift for your loved ones this year, remember those less fortunate and donate to the Toys for Tots in your area. Visit toysfortots.org to make a donation, find a drop-off location, or to volunteer. After all, Christmas is all about giving. Toys for Tots, helping bring joy to children everywhere at Christmas.
Hello, and welcome to today's lottery drawing. Good luck. And here's today's winning numbers. First one up, it's not yours. Second one, not yours. And another number that's not yours. Okay, this is one number that's yours. It's a 5, but you don't get any money for that. And the final number is not yours.
Yep, so chances are you're not going to hit the lottery anytime soon. Don't get us wrong, the lottery can be fun every now and then. Just please don't rely on it for your future savings. How about this? Brew your own coffee at home instead of buying that latte every day. Brown bag it to work instead of ordering in. Ride your bike instead of buying all that gas. These changes alone can save you thousands a year. Thousands. Small changes today, big bucks tomorrow. Feed that piggy bank. Go to feedthepig.org for more free ideas on how to save. Feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the flagship home of...
I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
It was a moment that changed my life. It was still at the heart of the storm when we arrived in a convoy of Humvees.
These people had been there for hours, all scared and on the verge of hypothermia.
We dug them out, got them home safely.
That's what we train for, moments like this.
In the Guard, you serve your community as well as your country. Go to NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Ohio National Guard, aired by the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
You're listening to the flagship home of Lake County Captains Baseball.
Isaac scores and the Captains walk it off on opening night.
We are the talk of the land. AllSportsCleveland.com, Valley View, Cleveland.
All right, we are back. We got football discussion here on So What's the Catch live, sometimes kind of on All Sports Cleveland. But we are here and we're talking Browns OTAs. Well, kind of, but not really, because Baker Mayfield's hosting some of his teammates down in Austin, Texas, for their own little mini offensive OTA camp they got going on.
This means Baker's getting better, right?
That's not what that means, but...
Supposedly.
What is your guys' opinions on this? Because I don't think it's really a big deal.
No, a little team bonding.
Yeah, it could help him improve his chemistry with some of his receivers, but other than that, nah.
Yeah. Sure, you're having the time of your life in there.
Is it the whole thing?
It just like the fact they're putting this on broadcast. I think it would be better if he just didn't talk about it and just form that chemistry.
So the way I see it is that I'm not even looking at it from the current perspective, but a year ago I might have had a problem with this, and that's because of the regime change, the new offense he had to learn, and all the little small nuances in it.
Yeah.
But the fact that the offense played at the level it did, and the offense was as productive as it was, and it's not changing this year. It's not a new offense. They might have some new tweaks, some new little looks, some play action type things in it, but it's not a complete overhaul like he's had to do the other previous years. I really don't care that they're down there because there's nothing from a broad perspective wrong with the offense.
Yeah.
So it's not really a big deal to me, even though some people like to make a big deal about it.
I just see it as a little team outing. Let's go out, let's hang out, chill.
Form that chemistry.
The only thing I will say is I want to see them evolve in the offense a little bit more, because you don't want it to be the same thing and have teams be like, oh, this is how we should set up our defense. So I just want to see, not necessarily changing the offense, but just evolve it a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, first things first, the defense is already going to be doing that next year. They're going to have their their thick book on what to do and how to defend the Browns. So it's going to be up to the Browns coaching staff, Kevin Stefanski, Alex Van Pelt, to come up with those new looks, those new little tweaks to the offense that will make things a little bit different, so they're not being able to basically have their offensive play get called out before the snap, which has happened previously under different regimes here. But, just little tweaks. Let's say instead of like having Jarvis Landry and OBJ run the reverse plays, have that be Anthony Schwartz.
Yes, that's actually a great idea.
Because he's faster than both of those two.
Yeah.
Do you think it would hide way too many of his flaws, though?
Of whose flaws?
Who?
Anthony Schwartz. I mean, he's really fast. Hopefully, with time, he catches the ball more. I know that was like a big problem of his in college.
It's a great way to get him involved in the game. Yeah. So that's the way I see it. And you know what? You're not going to see Jarvis or OBJ get lit up in the backfield anymore.
Or
that's honestly what I'm looking for.
Or have him run Wildcat, too.
No, we're not running Wildcats.
I feel like the Wildcat offense isn't really a thing anymore.
You'll see the occasional Wildcat-esque play. It's more of a play that still gets snapped to the quarterback, but Wildcat stuff happens after it, but it's pretty much dead now.
So, I've talked about this on my YouTube channel. Shout out to Max Nation. Yes.
He just came up with that today.
Yes, I did. But I just don't want Baker Mayfield to go back to his old ways of like, oh, I gotta force the ball to Odell Beckham Jr. Like,
yes.
Even though like he could have like Jarvis Landry wide open on a hitch route, or he might have Anthony Schwartz running running wide open on a post route. I just don't want Baker to fall back into that trap.
Yeah.
And not to be too picky, but I'd rather have Schwartz be running just go routes. Give me the 9 route, because post route, I get your example, but I'm still not confident in Baker's ability to read the coverage downfield. So go route, you just throw it deep, and hopefully he throws it past the safety or the deep coverage.
I feel like Schwartz could be good at screens, though. Like just those short passes.
That could be a good way.
Yeah, to get him involved as well.
Do you remember the deep pass? I think it was to Jarvis. Baker threw to Jarvis against Carolina.
Oh, the one that they showed on the replays all the time, and it was a whole bunch of luck that went into it?
Yes.
Why do you say it's luck, James?
Oh, because that ball barely missed getting tipped by the 2 different defenders before it went to Landry's hands in the end zone. That's why it's luck.
So you don't think the Browns should run that type of play consistently?
Oh, no, I'm just saying that particular play you're bringing up, there's a huge luck factor that was involved in there. He does that play 10 times, he's only going to complete it once, maybe twice. We saw that one time it was completed.
I hope Nick Chubb breaks off another 90-plus yard run for a touchdown like he did against Atlanta that season.
Okay, I guess that'd be cool. But speaking of OTAs, there is an article here from Browns Nation about 3 Browns players who should have been at OTAs but are currently not. We'll start off with number 1 with Jadeveon Clowney. And
your boy.
Yeah, my boy. I say yes and no for he should be there. Yes, because it's a new team. It's a defense that he's not necessarily familiar with. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, he is a veteran, and he is injury prone.
Yeah.
So I would say that too.
Yeah, I would say I get your argument is completely valid for why he shouldn't be, but I think that what you were saying before about having to learn the new I almost said offense. No, learning the new defensive system and like learning the tendencies of like what does Myles Garrett like to do? What are some of my other teammates like to do? I think he should have been at OTA so he could get familiar with.
Even if he's not even participating, just being there to see. Yeah.
Exactly.
I would be fine with that, but participation would be a different story. The number 2 guy in this list is John Johnson III. This is nothing, honestly, to me. John Johnson is an elite safety. He doesn't need to be there. I mean, I'm not really worried about the ability or impact of John Johnson this season like I am with Clowney.
I would just say same thing again of like learning the new defensive system and familiarizing yourself with the teammates. But other than that, no.
Okay. So the 3rd player, and this is one who I think needs to be there and getting a whole bunch of time in working in, and that is Takk McKinley. Because Takk McKinley has basically done a whole bunch of nothing up to this point in his career. And he does have injury issues, but you know what? He's not someone who has the luxury, in my opinion, to skip OTAs. He's someone that needs to be there, make an impression on the coaching staff, and show that he's committed and is able to actually play NFL football still.
Right.
Because he failed multiple physicals last year.
And he's not showing that first overall pick talent.
He wasn't the number 1 overall pick.
That was Clowney.
Not overall pick. I mean the first round pick talent.
Yes, he's not showing the talent that was worthy of being a first round pick.
Okay, I see what you're saying now, Church.
I confused both.
You're okay.
You're
first round, but yeah, he was drafted later.
You're fine, Church. I just
cool, Church.
I just misinterpreted what you said.
Cool berserkers.
Keep it cool, berserkers.
So we got Max Nation and berserkers. Okay.
All right, so we actually took this one thing off the rundown, but I'm going to throw it in there now because that went a little bit quicker than we thought it was going to be. But something that was on here, and that was the only record that Patrick Mahomes has his eye on, is going 20-0, and I just think that's nonsense.
Yeah. I don't see it happening, but I feel like he just said that and they're obviously going back, trying to go back for the Super Bowl, but...
Yeah, he just wants to go back to the Super Bowl, but he just wants to be better than the 72 Dolphins.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs have to play the Browns, they have to play the Ravens, they have to play the Bills, they have to play the Titans.
They got a tough schedule.
Yeah.
Perfect every game.
They play perfect, and even one of the teams that I think the most recent team that we thought that was actually going to do it, the 07 Patriots, they still couldn't even do it.
Yeah. But I think part of the reason they couldn't do it is because they played the Giants in the last week of the season, so New York was able to get a good look at what the Patriots do, and they were able to use that in the Super Bowl.
Maybe, but looking at the Chiefs and how their team's constructed, they can throw up a ton of points every week.
Mm-hmm.
But can their defense stop anyway?
That's the problem, is that eventually you become exhausted.
Yeah.
See, the difference between what the Chiefs do and what the Patriots did is the Patriots ran up the score because of the way Bill Belichick coaches his teams, and he wants to make sure his team is prepared for each and every moment that could possibly arise. That's why when they're up by 40 points during the height of the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick era, you would still see them going for it on fourth and long on their own 30-yard line because they know that at some point in time they're going to have to convert a fourth down on their own 30-yard line. He wants to make sure his team's ready for it. With the Chiefs, that's not, they're just throwing up points to throw up points. I really don't see the same type of, I don't want to say attention to detail, but kind of attention to small details like that Belichick and the Patriots did.
Yeah.
Running through those scenarios.
That could be because of the coaching style of Andy Reid, though. Andy Reid's not the same type of coach Bill Belichick is, because as you said, Bill Belichick's very detail-oriented, and we got to prepare for every single situation that might come our way. I don't see Andy Reid as that type of coach.
What's up, Jerk?
No, I was about to say, was Belichick like this when he was in Cleveland?
Belichick was like this when he was in Cleveland. Too bad a lot of the media members ran him out of town.
Yeah.
Okay? Because that happened. A lot of media members were upset that they did not have access to Bill Belichick like they have had access to some of the more recent head coaches here, most notably Hugh Jackson, which just shows if you do a little bit of investigation, you can figure out who I'm talking about here.
Yeah,
but
I would agree.
You are able to realize that they wanted that heightened level of access, or that extreme level of access that they did not get under Belichick, and that's why some people kind of launched sort of a campaign to get rid of him. But that's a whole longer story, and that's a whole different thing. But we're heading to break, and when we come back in an hour or two, we're going to be talking about some controversy with a high school football team, and we got some news about Kemba Walker.
When Frank De Lorenzo returned home from Iraq, things did not go smoothly. De Lorenzo was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder and a traumatic brain injury. But De Lorenzo found an unusual solution: Sophie. Sophie is a pit bull rescued from the Cleveland Kennel. With proper training, Sophie can now remind De Lorenzo when to take his medication, wake him from his nightmares, and essentially watch his back. With all the success De Lorenzo had with Sophie, he decided to start Wags for Warriors, a non-profit-based organization in Northeast Ohio started to help service men and women that have been affected by their combat experience. They work with local rescue organizations to match the veteran with an appropriate dog and provide all the training and support with no cost to the veteran. To find out how you can support Wags for Warriors, call 330-285-3941. Again, that number is 330-285-3941.
Here's farmer and landowner John Prue.
We purchased the land about 3 years ago, and there was an old farmstead on there with trees. We were going to clear the land so we could farm through it. We thought we knew where the pipe was, so we didn't call to get it located. The work on our property led to the damage of a light crude pipeline. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but it could have been much worse.
Never assume the location or depth of underground lines. Always call 811 or visit clickbeforeyoudig.com before you start work. A message from the Pipeline Operators for Ag Safety Campaign.
If you talk, your neighbor will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So talk, they hear you. You can do it if you try.
Did you just look down at your phone? You did it again, didn't you? You know, you're flying down the road in a 3-ton hunk of steel, and a text takes your eyes off the road for an average of 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's long enough to travel the length of a football field and cause some serious damage. Turn it off. Trust me, whatever it is, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextsstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
High school football lives here on allsportscleveland.com. Talk of the land, Valley View, Cleveland.
Okay. All right, we are back here on So What's the Catch. We have a little guest here today.
We're just fishing random people out of the hallway at this point.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
And who are you?
I'm Jasmine.
Are you
I'm
new?
24,
Right.
local.
Right on. Jasmine from the 216.
Yeah.
Got Jasmine here.
All right, welcome.
She's a berserker.
Yeah, that's Turk in our in the church box. Yeah.
But Josh, this is a story that you kind of feel strongly about
Yes.
here, and why don't you lead us on this one here?
So, a high school football coach forced a team to eat a pizza that his religion forbids, and the reason is because the football player is Jewish, which means that if you keep kosher, you can't have cheese, or I shouldn't say just say cheese. You can't have dairy and meat together. And
Well, the big thing's no pork, right?
yes, no pork. And that was also on this pizza because you had pepperoni. So that's very much.
So it broke it a couple ways.
Yeah. So it's just another form of anti-Semitism.
Yeah. Where was this out of?
Let's see.
Because I feel like I saw this over the weekend.
It was McKinley High School.
That's what I thought.
The incident happened on May 24th after the junior missed practice with an injury. According to the football family's attorney, head coach Marcus Waitley made the team sit in the middle of the gym and eat the whole pizza.
Retaliation?
It seems like it sounds like the article that it's a punishment for missing practice.
It's retaliation for
This happened in Canton.
Yeah, and it's
I thought McKinley says that's Canton School.
The article continues and it says if he didn't, as in like if the football player didn't do this, his surrounding teammates would have to run extra drills.
That's some hardo football.
Man, I hate when coaches did that.
I hate that.
That's such a classic. Only it wasn't like forcing.
Oh, we're not done.
I would have quit.
We're not done because the attorney says that Waitley, who again was the coach, also threatened to kick the team off the team.
This guy's a scumbag. Okay, this guy should be fired.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he was already.
Was he fired already?
I bet you his social medias are down.
I can guarantee that.
I believe, actually, I might have misspoke. I think what the school said is they're going to review the situation. But I feel like that'll end in him.
It says in the article that they suspended 8 members of the high school football coaching staff, including the head coach.
Okay, so suspended. They're going to review the thing. So it's school speak. But honestly, this guy should be fired. He should not be allowed to coach again because this is just a total scumbag move.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a religious person, but doing something against someone else's religion is just unacceptable.
Yeah, no matter what religion.
Sure, you can relate to this because didn't you say on an episode of the podcast earlier that you are also Jewish?
Yeah, not by religion, but by some family history. Yeah.
What do you mean not by religion?
I think he's saying he's non-religious. He's a non-religious, non-orthodox Jewish fan.
I was exactly.
I'm clearing everybody up.
Charles.
Yeah, you just had me confused. Like, I consider myself culturally Jewish and religiously atheist, but still.
Atheism's not a religion.
It's just the point, though. I mean,
but the overall point still stands. Like,
it'd be like forcing somebody who is lactose intolerant. Oh, you missed practice. Drink this gallon of milk.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's just disrespectful and dehumanizing.
I watched that new movie over the weekend, The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. If people watch these movies, I bet you there will be a lot less forcing going on.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
And people, I think empathy too. People don't see what it's like in other people's shoes. That's another big problem.
Right. Like, Jews have been the subject of a lot of tragedies. Like, you think of the Holocaust, Spanish Inquisition, just to name 2 of the major ones.
I think it's a horrible, disgusting thing, and we can all agree on that. But even more, getting to the bottom of it, because it's resting on a culture of win at no matter what. Mm-hmm. Because that's what these coaches are told, basically, not in so many words, but that's what they need to do to keep their jobs. You win no matter what. And it's that culture that drives things like this to happen. This isn't the first hazing incident or an incident with a coach or whatever. Stuff like this happens all the time. Mm-hmm. It's an overall issue with football. And it's sad because I love football, but
I'm glad it's being spoken on more so they can stop doing it.
Yeah.
Bringing light to it so it gets exposed to people that don't know about it is probably the best thing to happen here. I mean, because the more people know, the more people will do more to prevent future incidents like this from happening. I mean, they're still going to happen, but if that percentage can go down, that's for the better.
Well, don't be confused either. This has been going on.
Oh, yeah, it's been going on for a very long time.
It's just getting exposed. Like you said, everything gets exposed more easily now.
Yeah, right.
Just because of the way that we live. But yeah, it's something that's always been a part of that culture.
Yeah. So let's take it up to a different topic, a little bit more upbeat, I guess. And that's Kemba Walker. We had some breaking news before the show started here. Kemba Walker and the Celtics are looking for a breakup as the team tried to trade him in 2020. The story goes on to say a source close to Walker said he was hurt by Boston's efforts to trade him, which created a rift in the Walker-Ainge relationship. Walker has a great relationship with his teammates and look forward to being a veteran mentor to Tatum and Brown, but the same can't be said about Walker in the front office. He no longer feels wanted. What are the Celtics doing?
I don't know at this point.
All right. I touched on it a little bit earlier.
Didn't we have the same question last week?
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about
this is 2 weeks in a row we are asking, what are the Celtics doing?
Because I always say the Celtics need 2 pieces and they'll be solid. A solid center, and a point guard that can stay healthy.
Yeah.
I understand why they want to ship him, just because he's not healthy all the time. But he is a good veteran, can help Tatum and Brown.
Yeah.
But new management, so they might keep him, might stay.
It's possible, I guess.
I think he's still, Kemba, I think still has a couple good years left in him.
He's still definitely got a couple good years in him, and if Boston actually does trade him, they'll get a good enough return. But I'm looking at this, I'm like...
They have to get a guard, though, if they give him up.
Yeah, and you might have to throw a package with
You just see all the non-moves by Boston, and now they're stuck with Kemba Walker, and they're going to try and trade him. It just seems like one step forward, two steps back.
Yeah.
There have been
with what they're going on.
There have been so many moves with the Celtics where it's like, why did you not try and make this move? Like, they had an opportunity to get Kawhi Leonard at one point. That didn't happen.
Nice.
That didn't happen. They had opportunities to get other big name players, like Anthony Davis. They didn't do it.
Yeah.
Are you a Celtics fan down there?
Yeah, are you a Celtics fan?
Yeah.
This is where I got lost in the sports. I know the name, but I do not know the players.
Just what are your overall thoughts on the Boston Celtics, though?
Boston Celtics, my friend is a crazy, what is his name from here? He transferred to the,
Tristan Thompson?
That's why I'm not going to talk about sports, because I'm lost. I get lost a little bit, but ultimately, I used to have like a little Boston Celtics jersey, the shorts. I used to be a tomboy, but now that I'm older, I'm a girly girl, and I don't even remember.
Do you remember whose jersey it was, at least?
Yes, I remember that. I only watch when it gets to like playoffs.
Okay, which jersey was it though?
Which jersey?
Yeah, whose jersey?
When was this?
This was like 2008.
Oh, it was probably Paul Pierce then.
Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Ray John Rondo.
It could be an old Antoine Walker jersey.
Or, hear me out, Kendrick Perkins.
K-Perk. Everybody loves them, some Kendrick Perkins.
I love his jump shot in 2K. It looks like he just wanted. It looks like a trophy or something.
I was a big Paul Pierce fan because I just enjoyed his battles that he had with LeBron in that Game 7 in 2008, and it almost seemed like he came up clutch for the Celtics when they needed a big shot. So I just really enjoyed watching him. So I enjoy watching the Celtics. I wouldn't say I'm a Celtics fan necessarily. So
staying back to Walker here, where do you think he ends up if they trade him?
To Cleveland.
Oh my gosh.
I just want something positive for this team.
Yeah, I want something. I want something positive for the Cavs also.
I don't know.
Just not Kemba Walker.
Why not? Why not?
I'm just not sure Kemba would be great here in Cleveland. That's all.
Why do you think everybody's coming to Cleveland? Whether it's the Browns or the Cavs?
Because Cleveland's popping.
No, we're not.
AJ, I think I have an answer. Church is a Cleveland homer. Am I right or am I wrong?
What you mean, like a diehard fan?
Yes.
No, the step above diehard fan, where you think everything's the best, everyone wants to come here.
Nah.
I think everyone's going. I think we might get some people. Isn't the All-Star game going to be here?
Yes.
Projected.
We got the draft. We got the All-Star game. This place popping.
This place popping.
We also
you put on those shades, and you think you're the coolest guy in the room. Well, you are the coolest guy ever.
I've never heard Church say poppin' until those shades went on.
Wait, we also have the 2019 MLB All-Star Game here in Cleveland, which was the 90th All-Star Game.
I'll say it like this. Joakim Noah said best, who goes to Cleveland? I love Cleveland, but who actually comes here?
That was also from 2000. That was like from 2010, when it's different times.
Who comes? Sports fans, the older people.
But
we
rich people don't.
They do.
People that want mansions on the beach.
This is a
is not
retirement
coming
vacation place.
So
it's a retirement home.
Pick one team you think Walker's going to go to if he gets traded.
Mine is Dallas.
Dallas.
I like the idea of Dallas because I like him with Luka, so I'm going to say Dallas.
Clippers.
Denver.
How about you? Pick a team. Just pick a team.
Just
not Cleveland.
And not Golden State.
The Knicks.
Knicks. Okay, I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
That's a good one.
Here's my pick. My pick is he goes to the Lakers because the Lakers need reinforcements because they got to reset their roster. So that's my pick. Is that if they trade him, he's going to Boston. But right now we're heading to a break. We come back. We're talking about America's pastime. That's right. It is baseball.
Coats for Kids Cleveland has raised over $3.2 million and distributed over 500,000 coats in Northeast Ohio since opening in 1981. Our goal for 2013 is to obtain 25,000 new or gently used coats and raise $125,000 to purchase more coats. We need your help. Your gift of $100 will provide 6 new coats to children in need. Check out our website at coatsforkidscleveland.org for a list of collection locations or to make a donation. Coats for Kids Cleveland, helping to make every child feel warm this winter season.
Welcome, everybody, and thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Smokey Colbert, filling in for Smokey on his birthday, because after 75 years of...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Turns out there's much more to say. Just look at the news. Nearly 90% of wildfires are caused by us humans being careless. And I'm not just talking about obvious things like campfires, or letting your totally sweet nephew, Francis, play with matches. I'm talking about dumping your used barbecue coals willy-nilly, or parking your car on tall, dry grass. That can lead to poof. Guess the song was wrong. We did start the fire. But listen, being a South Carolinian, I respect Mother Nature and her trees, whether coniferous, deciduous, or new car scented. So if you love the outdoors like me, go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention, because fire safety is always in season. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Okay, Sarah, I'm dropping you at Emily's, and Josh, you're going to soccer, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, and by the way, when I pick you up, I'll be wearing my short shorts.
What? No!
Yep, me and my short shorts doing my daddy dance. Your friends will love it.
No!
Well, I might change my mind if you buckle your seatbelts.
Okay, we're buckling up. See, all buckled.
Whatever it takes, keep them safe. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
9, 8, 7.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
This is everyone's favorite season, autumn, from Triple Threat, and you're listening to allsportscleveland.com, the home of the NEO Christmas Classic.
All right, we are back here, and we're talking about my favorite sport. It is baseball.
And during the break, we got a berserker on the stream.
Oh, we got berserkers on the stream now?
Yep.
Oh,
They
okay.
make cameos at times.
Hey, we got 2 streams going then, because you got the berserkers over there, and I have Max Nation over here.
Just don't cross streams.
We'll try to figure out a way to how to combine both together eventually, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're starting here with something I alluded to a little bit earlier, and that's Major League Baseball cracking down on foreign substance rules. As we are aware, pitchers have been absolutely out of control and absolutely dominant this year in baseball because they've already thrown 6 no-hitters.
7 if you want to include Mad Bum.
Yes, 7 unofficial, but 6 official no-hitters. And so everyone's been complaining about the pitchers using...
The roids?
Not the roids, but artificial substances.
Using pine tar and stuff in the glove.
Yeah. And so what it is not actually pine tar that is the issue. They're using something called spider tack. Do you know what spider tack is?
Never heard.
I do not.
Spider tack is a sticky substance that you see like those huge World's Strongest Man people use to lift those giant boulders that weigh 300 pounds.
Is it like Stickum?
Kind
A little
of.
bit? Like how
That
the
makes
wide
sense.
Like how the old wide receivers used to do back in the day?
It's got the same idea, so it's very sticky.
Oh, basketball players use that like on their shoes.
Yeah, yeah. And so that's what they're trying to crack down on is that. So I think it goes into effect like about less than a week from now. And what they're going to do is if you're caught using an enhanced substance or a foreign substance, you get a 10-game suspension.
Well, what's the picture I saw over the weekend where there was somebody from the Indians they were getting all
James Karinchak. What it was is that he was going into his glove and may or may not have been putting something on the ball before he threw. You really couldn't tell, but that's the assumption.
Didn't we talk about this topic last week with one of the St. Louis Cardinals pitchers?
Giovanni Gallegos, yes. We did mention this, but there was not. But the fact that they're actually going to enforce the rules now.
Yeah.
Before it was on the managers to decide if do I really want to expose my own players to being checked out by the umpires. But now the umpires are going to go out multiple times a game, random times a game, to go check the pitcher's hats, their belt, their glove, all this stuff to make sure they're not hiding foreign substances.
Here's what I like about it, and here's what I don't like about it. I like that we're going to be able to see if pitching's really as dominant as we've all thought. I don't like this is going to slow the game down even more, and that's been an issue for Major League Baseball.
They're going to do it in between innings, so
are they?
It won't impact the
well,
game
then
like
overall,
that.
I support it.
But the one number to pay attention to, and something I also mentioned earlier, is pitchers' RPMs. How many rotations per minute they get on the baseball. Because of this, you've seen a lot of pitchers get higher RPMs on the baseball. Something Trevor Bauer actually talked about a couple years ago, and everyone clowned him for it. Turns out he was right, and he probably is using it himself, and that's how he got the highest average annual salary for a baseball player ever, and after he got a Cy Young award. But when you see
Cincinnati of all places,
what you'll see is that if there are people using it, then they stop using it because they're enforcing the rules. You're going to see their RPMs dip down about 200 to 300 per pitch.
It'll be pretty blatant.
And
there could definitely be a change in the game.
The other night, Garrett Cole allowed 5 runs and his RPMs were down. Wonder what happened. Garrett Cole is someone where a lot of this is surrounding him, and he was actually asked about it, and he's like, I don't know how to answer that. It's like, that just told us everything we need to know, Garrett Cole. I mean, he didn't go from the Pittsburgh Pirates being just like an okay pitcher to being the dominant Garrett Cole in Houston that he was by accident.
This is just one of several problems I think baseball has. Like, the Red Sox just swept the Yankees in New York, and this was a subject I wanted to get to, but I'll include it here. And, you have that historic rivalry, but, some of the Yankees players were mentioning Alex Cora and his connection to the Astros and their whole cheating scandal, and that Cora was off for a year from the Red Sox, and they were terrible. He's back with the Red Sox, and now they're great.
I mean, do they really want to be doing that when they have a former Astro on their own team? They should be paying attention to what they're doing.
No, I'm saying the Yankees were saying stuff about the Red Sox.
I know, but it's the same length cheating scandal. It's the same thing. Alex Cora was in Houston. That Garrett Cole was in Houston.
Weren't the Red Sox accused of cheating in the 2018 World Series?
They were, but nobody paid attention to it because it's not the Astros and like that they did it. But we'll see, I think, some boosted offense once they start actually enforcing the rules here. And I'm not necessarily opposed to that, but at the same time, I think this is a bit of a, I don't want to say knee-jerk reaction, but it's a little bit of a old man yells at cloud moment for baseball.
Is this kind of like putting in hand checking, like how they got rid of that in basketball?
Kind of.
Yeah, I would say kind of.
Apples and oranges.
It's more like how the NFL banned Stickum. Okay. Yeah. It's more like that.
There's nothing in the rules like some of the older teams in the NFL on their jerseys they would have like Velcro or something that would allow the ball to stick to their bodies more. There's nothing in the rules that says you can't do that.
I just see it like a cat and mouse game. I mean, the players figure out tricks. They get away with push it to that line as much as they can, and then baseball pushes back, and they'll figure something else out.
Well, I mean, the whole thing's always been a little bit of like nudge, nudge, wink, wink. We won't do anything if you don't, and that's how it's basically been. I mean, every time a manager has challenged or said go check the other pitcher prior to this, the umpire is like, "You really want me to do that?" And he goes out and does it, and then it's a whole thing.
I would think though what might have made a difference is that, like we were talking earlier, with like the way society is now and everybody having phones at the game, even if people were trying to keep it that way, it would have been hard. Like without even the players saying anything, there's people in the stands who can take pictures now and be like, man, it looked like he was getting something out of his glove.
Right. Do you guys feel like overall baseball is like the farthest behind in terms of our society? Like, I feel like all the other major sports are have evolved to be where our society is.
But isn't it baseball that just did those gay pride uniforms?
Yeah, they just did that.
And I thought that was honestly a step over compared to some of the other sports.
Right. Mm-hmm. I just mean in general, I feel like baseball has been the slowest to evolve. Is that too much of a stretch, or?
I feel like football has.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think football.
I say football.
Okay. That's a
football,
fair
and
argument.
Maybe would you say MMA or no? MMA possibly?
I don't consider, me personally, let me scoot away from AJ.
Yeah,
I don't consider MMA a major sport like that. Not in the same league.
I think it is. It's getting there, but not quite yet.
A few more years, I'll say at max, maybe 10. It'll probably be like close to that level, but no.
It's not. I would agree with you that it's on the.
It's on the right track.
Yeah, it's getting there, but not quite yet.
Yeah, because then you think about like how many people watch baseball from like all over, stuff like that. Add in sponsorships and stuff. MMA is more of the individual people. Baseball and football and stuff is team organized based. So,
right.
Yeah.
So sticking on baseball, and we're going to kick it back to the local team here. What are the Indians going to do when they don't have Shane Bieber or Aaron Savale on the mound? Because it's been pretty rough to watch.
This is your story.
It has been, and this isn't the first time that we've ever seen this, but it seems different this time to me.
It does.
In 2016, in that World Series run, we lost Carrasco, we lost Salazar, and still made it to the end of the regular season. But we just don't have the same star power we had to pick this up before, and it's worrisome. It really is. Like, this is what is leading me into really worrying about the future of the Cleveland Indians.
Well, they're not going to be called the Cleveland Indians after this.
The Cleveland team.
The future Cleveland baseball team.
Didn't we see somewhere that they're down to like 1,000 names or something?
Down to 1,000.
Just don't call us the Cleveland Steamers. Just don't call us that.
I mean, that was a non-update update. We already knew how many names they were down to.
So the way it's looking, the rotation could look McKenzie, Bieber, Savali, J.C. Mejia, Cal Quintrell, Sam what is that? Sam
Henches.
I never pronounce that last name.
Henches.
McKenzie, but you're going to need a fifth starter in there. Someone. It called for the next 31 days. They're playing 30 games.
Yeah.
So they need to get a fifth starter in there.
Yeah. I have a lot of question marks about Tristan McKenzie. He got sent down to the minor leagues, had to be called up because of injuries for other pitchers, and I haven't seen enough consistency from him to say he's definitively a starter.
Well, first of all, he's going to be a starter either way, number one. Number two, his last two starts have been encouraging, as he was actually pitched better in his last two starts than I think pretty much every other start this season, except for maybe one. But McKenzie is going to have to be a guy, okay? And whether or not they have him be a starter or a short-term opener type starter, he's a starter. Because he doesn't have the velocity to come out of the bullpen. On a good day, he touches 96 on a good day, and that's maybe once or twice. He usually settles in at about that 92, 93 range, which is perfectly fine for a fourth starter or so. But I think a lot of the build-up to McKenzie is kind of, I don't want to say make this be a letdown, but it's not quite what we all thought he was going to be at this point. And some of that's because of injuries, some of that's also because of a lack of development over some of that period of time. But it's going to be a rough stretch here for the Indians.
Yeah.
Pitching-wise.
It's been a rough year injury-wise altogether, too. So it's not like there's a lot of pitchers available to trade for right now when you have teams like the Cardinals who are down 3 starters right now, and there's just not that much to be had.
Right.
There really isn't. And, one team that would have been a prime pitching trade target or, partner would have been the Giants. But the Giants are playing way above their heads right now, and they're actually one of the better teams out in the NL West.
I think the Giants are a sneaky playoff contender this season.
I don't know if they'll be able to actually get to the playoffs. They're a good team. They're in a good spot, but I think at some point their age and some injuries are going to catch up to them because they are an older team.
Do you see any chance of the Indians making a trade?
There's always a chance.
I mean, always a chance, but do you see any realistic chance? I don't.
Of acquiring or sending guys?
Acquiring.
Acquiring, no. I could see it. I don't want to say a soft sell, but that's kind of what it would be. I could see them moving Cesar Hernandez and Eddie Rosario as the season progresses.
Because sports talk, they always got to find things to talk about, and they've been mentioning like, I bet you see a trade, I bet you see an acquirement, so that they can take some of the pressure off. I just don't see it.
No, that's not the way they're gonna operate.
Yeah, I don't. the Dolans haven't really been that type of owner.
I think it's been proven by
ownership. Yeah, I would agree with you that it's been proven.
All right, and we're gonna hit a break here. When we come back, we're talking something I know very little about, and that's combat sports.
Yeah.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
You can do it if you try.
Would you trade $10 to get almost $10,000 in gift cards redeemable at hundreds of places around town? Of course you would. And how incredible would it be if a portion of that $10 was used to support some amazing nonprofits? Nonprofits like Awakening Angels, Beautiful Faces, Easter Seals. These nonprofits and more. You get to save money and nurture your community. Join us today at unitethisscity.com and embrace what makes our community different.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, please, have a seat. So here's the thing. When this company brought you on, we took a chance on you. You didn't have that 4-year college degree we typically look for.
Right.
But we gave you a shot anyway. And since then, you've worked incredibly hard and given it your all.
Thanks.
You've been an important asset to the team, but I don't think you can be an intern here anymore. We want to hire you.
You're serious?
Absolutely.
Find your next great employee. Introduce yourself to the Grads of Life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
I won't let you down.
I know.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
This is everyone's favorite season, Autumn, from Triple Threat, and you're listening to allsportscleveland.com, the home of the NEO Christmas Classic.
It returned.
Oh, feedback came back?
It returned.
Yeah, feedback can go away. But we're back here on So What's the Catch, and I'm going to pass this off to AJ as we're talking combat sports. Take it away!
Okay, UFC 263. The main event of that fight, excuse me, Israel Adesanya and Marvin Vettori, the rematch. Josh, when did they fight before? When was the first
that one? I'm not sure of. But I know Adesanya won that first fight.
Yes, he did. Marvin Vettori coming off a win. Israel coming off a loss. I know it was in light heavyweight. He had to put on some pounds. How do you think this plays out, the rematch?
So, other than UFC 260 when Stipe fought against Ngannou, the last couple pay-per-views that I've watched have been headlined by Adesanya. And I don't think we're ever going to see Adesanya face John Jones, but I would say they have similar styles.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
It's similar in a way. I would compare Adesanya to Silva just a little bit more.
Yeah, I could see that.
But he got the build like John Jones. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think we're going to see either fighter take the other one down, because I haven't really seen that from Adesanya.
I see it ending in stand-up too.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Adesanya retains his belt, but I think it's gonna be close.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be a finish. Like, I don't think we're gonna see a TKO or a KO. I always get TKO is like when the referee has to step in and stop the fight. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Technical knockout.
Okay. But that's not the only title rematch on the card. We also have Davison Figueiredo taking on Brandon Moreno in a rematch of their epic flyweight title fight at UFC 256.
I'm gonna go with Davison on that one.
I'm gonna take Moreno.
All right, we're gonna have something to talk about next week then.
Because that fight was extremely close. They both took it after each of them fought at UFC 255, so it was like a 4-week difference, or 4-week training camp. So they didn't really have a full training camp. Now they know what their opponent's gonna do. So I think that's what makes rematches so interesting to me. It's like you fought them once, or maybe you fought them twice, so you know what your opponent's gonna do. But I know there's one fight you're particularly interested in. Nate Diaz?
Yes, of course. Nate Diaz versus Leon Edwards at welterweight. I'm a huge Nate Diaz fan, just because I can't say it on air, but he's a bad guy.
Yeah,
I want to say it, but I can't say it.
Yeah.
Bad MFer?
Yeah.
Yes. Although he does not hold the BMF belt. Jorge Masvidal does.
I know. I want them to run it back too, but we'll get to that later on. But this fight.
Quick thing. Did you know this will be the first 5-round fight that's not a title fight or a main event?
I did not, but Nate Diaz said he sees every fight as a title fight, so that's how I'm going to see it.
Okay.
That's the right attitude. It's the right mindset, right?
You like his brother Nick too?
I like Nick, yeah. I like both Diaz brothers. I like Nate more.
I like Nate more because he's more of a BA. I don't see Nick as much of a BA.
I just like his attitude. I don't really care. I'm gonna do me.
Do you remember the press conference Nate and Connor had, where Connor shows up late and Nate starts? Was it Nate that started throwing water bottles at Nate, or was it Connor?
Nate threw the first one.
That's what I thought.
And then Connor just started throwing them from the table.
It's gonna be a good card.
It will be. Those 3 fights are the ones to really watch. The rest of the card, it looks good, but
where are the other fights on the card, on the pay-per-view?
The main event, so it has Paul Craig versus Jamal Hill. I think that's how you say his name. That's my first time seeing him. He's 8-0 though.
Okay. What weight?
Light heavyweight.
Oh, okay.
Also, Damian Maia versus Muhammad.
Oh, Bilal Muhammad.
Yes. That's how you say his first name?
Yes.
I didn't want to butcher it.
Yes, it's Bilal Muhammad. The only reason I know that fighter's name is because he was in the main event against Leon Edwards, and I think the fight had to be stopped because he got poked in the eye or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to be a good card. Oh, also in the early prelims, you got Chase Hooper. He's an up-and-comer, if you know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
I like him. So I'm going to watch that early prelim, and then I'll stream it, to see the rest.
Yeah, stream it.
Yeah, stream it. But we also have Floyd Mayweather against Logan Paul.
Oh,
I want to talk about this one. I'm so...
All right, Shark.
All right, Shark.
Lead it off.
So basically, from what I heard, Logan Paul brought a $1 million Charizard card to the ring. I didn't see the whole fight, but I did see I've heard the highlights and what's going on. Him and Mayweather fought, and it ended in a draw.
Well, I heard it was pretty much a dance.
Well, the reason you heard that it ended in a draw is because there were no judges at ringside.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no official winner because the Florida Sports Commission didn't, I don't think, officially sanction the bout. So it was it was a total exhibition. It was 8 rounds, like 3 minutes each.
Mayweather won, though.
Yeah,
Mayweather won.
If you look at the
stats, yes,
Mayweather won. But I'll say this: dude went the full.
He lasted the full.
He went the whole way.
Good for him.
Hey, I got a question for all of you guys.
Okay.
Here we go.
If you guys all got in the best shape of your lives for like a year to fight these guys, you think you could beat any of the Paul brothers?
No.
I'm gonna say yes because I already do this.
Yeah.
So, I can do it.
I got my money.
I'm throwing my life savings on AJ.
If anybody could do it, I'm picking AJ.
At that point, I would be bringing a weapon. Because no, I don't think I could physically beat them.
But
I did see at one point during the fight, Logan actually he got knocked out, but Floyd kept him up.
Yep.
That was like
A couple things I saw on this though, where they were saying that it was very much a Floyd Mayweather fight. It looked like all his other fights,
pretty much.
And also, they pretty much said after this, you can take any thought you have of Mayweather versus Jake Paul and throw it away. It's not happening because it would be pointless for Mayweather at this point. He needs to move on, and he might retire. I mean, who knows?
He is officially retired.
That's what he said.
He said, "I'm not coming back to the sport." But I think if he does boxing, anything, he does an exhibition. His record's not on line, and it's just to make millions of dollars.
I think it'll be exhibition.
Yeah, he would only do exhibitions.
And the one thing I'll say about this fight is I saw clips on Twitter because I'm too cheap to pay for this charade. That was on.
I didn't waste my money on this.
That was on. That was put on here, but I saw Logan got a couple of good hits in, which good for him.
Yeah.
But, a lot of the highlights were Floyd Mayweather doing Floyd Mayweather things, which was making the other guy look like a fool, then connecting with one hell of a punch.
The guy couldn't even beat. He couldn't beat KS. He didn't beat KSI, man. Why is he fighting Floyd?
Now, if anything, the other brother's the better boxer, honestly.
I want to challenge Jake Paul.
I would love to see Conor and Floyd running back because that first match, I don't know if you guys watched it, but I did. I
did, but you want to know how I watched it? Somebody had it on Instagram Live, and I just joined it live.
I actually really enjoyed that match. Conor looked good in that ring.
No, he didn't.
He got gassed out early.
I agree, but I'm saying early on at least he looked good.
And he was clinching most of the time.
I don't think Conor looked that good, and Floyd was just toying with him.
How would
in the later rounds? Yes. Early on,
he was toying with him the entire time. He knew what his game plan was. Floyd was going to do his thing, which is go around the corners of the ring, let someone who's going to be way too aggressive, Conor, gas himself out, then beat the crap out of him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because Conor didn't know how to box. We know that.
Yeah. That's been his game plan in most of his MMA fights, is to box.
But MMA fights are significantly shorter than boxing matches.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're right.
You got 4 rounds of 5 minutes. Boxing is 12 rounds. 3
Do you
minutes
think we could get Kwame Brown versus Floyd Mayweather?
Put to try.
Why?
Jerk.
Why?
Jerk, can we just cut off your microphone?
All right, you got one more fight they got here. You got some wrestling here.
Yeah, so...
Like WWE? Or?
Yeah, WWE SummerSlam is going to be August 21st, which you talked about this fight a couple shows ago. It's going to be the same day as Errol Spence against Manny Pacquiao. So what I've heard WWE is going to try and do is end their show just in time for fans to leave SummerSlam and get over to T-Mobile Arena, which I think is where the Pacquiao Spence fight is happening. I could be wrong.
It's in Vegas.
Yeah, both events are in Vegas.
If it's not at the T-Mobile, it's probably at MGM.
It's gonna be one of those two.
Yeah,
Thomas and Mack Center.
Because SummerSlam's at Allegiant Stadium. So. So what do you think about that? Do you like that WWE is doing a big event at the same time as a big boxing match like that, or do you wish they were on separate?
I don't mind it. I don't think those are two different things that can't really compete together.
They're not in competition with each other.
If it was like MMA,
they can cross promote.
Since it's WWE, I don't really see a big deal with it.
Yeah. It's gonna be like WrestleMania was WWE's like test run of having fans back. SummerSlam is gonna be like their big like welcome back WWE universe.
And SummerSlam's one of my favorite pay-per-views.
And they chose the right place to do it in Vegas. I was in Vegas a couple weeks ago. What's COVID?
Right.
That's what Vegas was.
I swear to God, yeah.
That's what Vegas was.
I was there last year. Nobody knew what COVID was, I guess.
So people weren't wearing masks. They weren't social distancing. But that's kind of what I expect, and that's kind of what's kind of happening around here now.
Yeah.
But it was just like, how about we be careful just a little bit?
Yeah. So I mentioned this as one of my pet peeves a couple weeks ago, and we will get to another pet peeve towards the end of the show, but I am a WWE fan. I'm an AEW fan. I'm not afraid to admit that. I still enjoy watching both to this day. I don't like it when, even though I know it's fake and you know all that, I don't like it when people tell me that, because I want to be able to, like...
Enjoy the story, yeah.
Yeah, I want to enjoy the story. Decide if I, support the wrestlers involved in the story. Like, Roman Reigns is supposed to be a heel. We're not supposed to like him. I choose to support him, So
I love wrestling.
Do you think kayfabe just kind of died a little bit?
It did, but that's a longer discussion that we can have a different show, because we got to hit to a commercial now, and when we come back, we're going to have a quick hockey playoff update, then my new favorite segment of the show, Random Cleveland Sports Athlete of the Week.
Right on.
Did you know that generic drugs are just as safe and effective as brand name drugs? Generics might look different, but they work the same way. And they can even save you money. Don't believe me? Ask your doctor or pharmacist. Or visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
My name is Hunter Hayes. I know myself, and I know my buzzed warning signs. One shot is about knowing my limits, or not necessarily knowing my limits.
I start with one shot to have a good time.
One of the signs that I'm starting to feel a little buzzed is when I start solving not only my own problems, but the entire world's problems. When I know I'm going out, I know I'm going to start with calling for a ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Creando conexiones durante la recuperación de un trastorno mental y uso de sustancias pone toda la fuerza de la familia y comunidad apoyándole a usted, ofreciendo apoyo y esperanza. Únete a las voces de la recuperación, fortaleciendo familias y comunidades.
Para información confidencial sobre desórdenes mentales y de uso de sustancias para usted o alguien que conoce, llame al 1-800-662-4357. Patrocinado por el Departamento de Salud y Servicios Humanos de los Estados Unidos.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I did the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Packers,
Vikings,
Red State,
Blue State. We come from different places.
Uptown,
Downtown. We come to different conclusions.
half empty,
Half full. But no matter how different we are, we're all connected, and we can all make a difference. That's why United Way brings people, expertise, and resources together to improve the education, income, and health of our communities, the building blocks for a better life. When we live united, our efforts, magnified by others, add up to real change. Children succeed in school, families gain financial stability, the health of our neighbors improves, and suddenly, so do our communities. But real change won't happen without you. Live united. So let's look beyond our differences. Live united. One by one, let's make a difference. Let's reach out a hand to one and influence the condition of all. Live united. Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United. Sign up today at liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
We are the talk of the land. AllSportsCleveland.com. Valley View, Cleveland.
We are back here on So What's the Catch, and I got a quick Stanley Cup playoff update for you. The New York Islanders lead the Boston Bruins 3-2, with the Islanders having the chance to advance this evening. The Tampa Bay Lightning finished off their series with a win over the Carolina Hurricanes, and they will play the winner of New York and Boston. Meanwhile, over in the Western Conference, we got the Vegas Golden Knights, who defeated the Colorado Avalanche 3-2, with Vegas leading the series 3-2. The winner of that series will play Montreal after Montreal completed their sweep of the Winnipeg Jets. Meanwhile, back here in Columbus, the Blue Jackets get the 5th pick in the 2021 NHL Draft. This is the first time that the Blue Jackets missed the playoffs since 2016. And here in Cleveland, the Monsters were placed back in the North Division after being in the Central Division last season due to COVID-19 restrictions. And this Friday will mark the 5-year anniversary of the then Lake Erie Monsters winning the Calder Cup Championship. That is it for hockey. Any little notes here? Vegas, our pick, going strong.
I just want to say something. I feel like it was last show or 2 shows ago. Josh said your Vegas Knights better bring their A game.
Oh, they brought their A game.
Yep, they did. I will definitely give them credit.
All right.
So yeah. Anything other notes?
Go Bruins.
Go Bruins from Kramer.
I'm trying to resist jumping over the table right now because I'm not going to say hate, but I strongly dislike the Boston Bruins, especially after 2019.
And I repeat, go Bruins.
We mentioned this off air, but I'm going to bring it on air now. But Kramer's been the kiss of death with his hockey picks, so let's get hashtag Fade Kramer going for hockey.
Yes,
Fade Kramer hockey. But let's go on to the featured segment of this right here, and we have the random Cleveland athlete of the week. Are you guys ready?
Yeah. You had your Berserker of the week.
Wait, who is your Berserker of the week?
All right, the Berserker of the week. I'm gonna give it to Baker.
Okay.
Why?
I mean, he's trying to form that chemistry together.
All right.
I feel like he was already Berserker of the week. Like
This is the third Berserker of the week.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think
third time.
And this is our 14th episode?
Berserker of the week is pretty relatively new.
Okay, all right, here we go. Random Cleveland athlete of the week. We have basketball, so it's the Cavaliers player.
Oh, thank God.
Larry Hughes. Just kidding.
All right, he was picked 65th overall in the 1979 NBA draft.
Jesus Christ.
Just out of curiosity, two of the Cavs, right?
He said
played for the Cavs.
Cavs picked.
Was he drafted by Cleveland?
He was selected by the Cleveland Cavaliers with the 65th overall pick in 1979. That would be the third round.
World B. Free.
It is not World B. Free. Okay.
Austin Carr.
It is not Austin Carr. Austin Carr is already in the league by then.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the
I
first
thought it was gonna be more recent.
Jim Jones?
It is not Jim Jones. Let me keep going. He did not play his first season in Cleveland because he played professionally in Italy before coming to Cleveland.
Bill Lambier.
How did you get that?
Wow.
I knew he played in Cleveland. I know some obscure facts about players, and that was one of them.
Church gets some love today, man. Church's been pulling through.
That was a pretty random one.
That was because I wasn't gonna get that. If he probably kept going with more hints, I probably would have got it.
If you had said something about playing with Detroit and the Bad Boys, I would have gotten that easily.
I was literally thinking of a foreign player.
Church, I'll give you a thumbs up for this week, buddy.
All right, so I knew that this could possibly happen, which is why I prepared a backup.
Thank you.
Look at me. But he's not an athlete, he is a coach.
Okay, I'll do my best.
Okay.
He was a coach.
He was a coach. His first NBA coaching job was in Cleveland in 1981.
Lenny Wilkens.
It is not Lenny Wilkens.
This kind of hurts because I can't go that far back with coaches. Like, the furthest I can go back is
George Karl.
Brown.
The farthest I can go back with coaches for the Cavs is Mike Brown.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was born in 1930 in Kane, Pennsylvania.
I don't know if I'm getting this.
Looking it up.
And I was born 69 years later.
The Cavs were one of 4 teams he was a head coach for, and prior to joining the Cavs, he was an assistant for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Is he still
Mike Fratello?
It is not Mike Fratello.
I'm with AJ. I don't know coaches at all.
I want to keep going with this because
He still coaches?
No.
He does not. Okay.
When he got hired, he was their 3rd head coach of the season in 1981 for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Is this guy? Was he notable with any other teams?
Yes, he was.
Which one?
I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, that would give it away, Chirk.
The 2 teams he coached where he was not notable for were the New Jersey Nets and the Orlando Magic. And that took place from 92 to 99.
Chuck Daly.
There you go. You got it.
I wasn't getting that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten
Bill Lambier. That makes sense now.
There's a reason why I paired those 2 together, because they both were more prominent figures in Detroit.
I wouldn't have gotten those. I
needed more hints for the first one.
Yeah, I would have gotten Bill Lambier.
I didn't think he was going to get it off. Played in Italy.
No, I didn't get it on the Italy part. I just was thinking to my head, 1979, played a short stint. I do remember hearing that in documentaries and stuff, like the Bad Boys documentaries. They talked about Bill Lambier playing in Cleveland.
Quick shout out to Engraven Bits, who's watching this video. He is a big Baltimore Ravens fan. I have done 2 or 3 video collaborations with him. I'm hoping to do a video collaboration with him again for when the Browns play the Ravens on Sunday Night Football in Week 12 and here in Cleveland in Week 14, which Somehow that's a 1 o'clock game, and I am frustrated about that.
Ravens were the Browns. Just want to point that out.
You say that every time somebody brings up Browns and Ravens.
I mean, it just in 1995, man, not having a football team just really hurt. I wasn't alive back then, but James, you were, and you.
Trying to make me feel old.
It's just
getting another one on the fly here because we got about 6 minutes to kill here.
Oh, that's gonna go off.
We got another one. Something he doesn't know.
Good news. I'm still sticking with basketball.
Okay.
Kill me with the basketball.
This is more recent.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Thank you.
You know, people not born during the Great Depression. Okay.
Yes, I'm a youngster. I'm proud of it too.
Okay, this Cleveland Cavalier went to college at Louisville.
Oh.
From 2008 to 2010.
2008. Oh, so he is a very recent draft pick.
Was he drafted in 2010?
He was undrafted.
Not Daniel Gibson, because he was with us in 2000.
Alonzo G.
He went to Texas. Did he win any awards?
Was he even any rotation?
2008 to 2010.
Went to Louisville?
Went to Louisville. From 08 to 010.
I don't want to ask what position he played because I feel like that would.
The Cavaliers were the only NBA team he played for.
So it's not very.
Wow. Oh, God.
I consider myself a diehard Cavs fan.
Christian Ienga.
It's not Christian Ienga.
Mardo Samuels.
I didn't know he played for Louisville.
I didn't know
Samardo Samuels.
He just throwing out names.
Samardo Samuels had 109 games played with the Cavs, starting 11. He averaged 15.8 minutes per game, and that got him 5.9 points and 3.4 rebounds a game.
I'm just gonna give Chirk a round of applause.
I'm gonna give him a round of applause today too. Like, I know Samardo Samuels. I just didn't know he went to Louisville.
This is some pretty impressive Cavs knowledge from Chirk in there.
Yeah, I mean, that's how diehard I am, man.
I consider myself a diehard Cavs fan as well, but
from 08, he only played for us?
Players.
What's that?
He only played for the Cavs?
Only played for the Cavs. 2010, 2013.
Hey, Chirk. You and I can be diehard Cavs fans in different ways.
Yeah.
Cool.
Different, unique ways.
Yes, exactly.
All right, I got
I'm glad we settled.
Do we have another one not basketball related?
Yeah, I can get you one not basketball related. Give me 1 second.
He took the lead. He's now 3. 2 wins. Jesus. I'm losing to Chirk.
I mean, these are some obscure.
At least
Mardo Samuels is an obscure player.
At least I have one on the board.
You gotta get Kramer one on here.
Yo, Kramer, you need one.
Well, I was doing the quiz earlier, but okay, I'll try to. And I'm not good at all with basketball.
Okay, good news. We're going football.
All
We're
right.
going Browns.
I dig this.
Okay.
Recent?
It's last 15 years.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I say if he's
Braylon
40s, I'm out.
All right. Otto Graham. He only played 5 games for the Browns.
Chancey Stuckey?
No, 3 games. 3 games for the Browns during the 2007 season. His number was 5.
Charlie Fry?
Not Charlie Fry.
Ken Dorsey.
Not Ken Dorsey.
2007 season.
Kevin O'Connell?
His number was 5.
Peyton Hillis.
No, Peyton Hillis was number 40.
He is best known for his blonde handlebar mustache.
Oh.
Charlie Whitehurst?
Not Charlie Whitehurst.
I know exactly. Jeez, his name's on the tip of my tongue.
He was the last player in the NFL permitted to play with a single bar helmet.
What?
This is gonna get Kramer. I'm just gonna let him have it.
Because I saw this in an article, I feel like just a couple weeks ago, but I'm not remembering.
He was a punter.
Oh.
He should know this. He always talks about punters.
Zastadil?
Not Zastadil.
Not Billy.
Remember, he only played 3 games for the Browns.
Not Cundiff.
Not Cundiff.
Like played? Like he actually played? Or did he just was on the bench?
He was a punter, so punter.
Punter, wore jersey number 5, only played 3 games in 2007. Look at AJ. He's trying to find a clue.
There's not a picture of him in here. I don't think there's any merchandise with his likeness on it.
Yeah, there usually isn't with punters.
Yeah.
Except for Pat McAfee, legend.
Pat McAfee is awesome.
This might be one that nobody gets.
I'm out because
You're out.
Me on this.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I'm done.
The answer is Scott Player.
Who?
Scott
I
Player.
did not even know that was
That's
a
the
human
most
being.
default character name I've ever heard.
Scott Player.
Scott Player.
That sounds like something you'd get on Madden. Scott Player.
Yeah, that does sound like such a mad name.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, iconic handlebar mustache, playing with a single bar helmet, which he kept underneath his chin. Because who needs a face mask?
Hey.
I mean, come on. Legend, right there.
Okay.
If you say so.
I mean,
why not?
That works.
Why not?
And that was so obscure for me.
That was the point.
Hey, last minute, just because I know there's like 2 minutes, and we didn't do this story. So, did you guys see the Browns story last night?
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
Wait, what's
There is an executive who got a DUI.
Yeah.
And the only reason I bring it up is because when I heard that, it brought me back to the past, and I don't want to start hearing about the Browns for bad reasons.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want to hear about the Browns.
So I hope it was a isolated incident, done and over with.
Yep, I agree. But now it's time for my favorite segment of the week, the pet peeve of the week. So Kramer's done one, Turk, you had one, AJ's. Oh, so it's come back to me.
I've done one.
Oh,
I don't think I've done one.
yeah, you did. Yours was last week about the sports media.
It was me and James having one.
I've done one.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just me?
Yeah. I mean, I have a second one, but I'll save it.
I'll go.
I'll save it for next week.
So, I am big on combat sports, as everybody knows. The UFC does a pretty good job with it. Boxing. Nobody fights the best anymore, and that just drives me crazy because it's mostly just for money. Like, everybody knows it. Nobody wants to fight the best until they're like past their prime, and it's annoying.
Yeah.
That's my biggest pet peeve.
Okay.
I like that.
A young Floyd and a young Pacquiao would have been much better than
what we got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you want to see something like back in the day when it was Mike Tyson Evander Holyfield.
Yes, or Sugar Ray versus Hearns.
Yeah.
Like when
something like that.
When Pacquiao and Mayweather on Fight Night Round 2 type of like
that era would have been good.
Yeah.
Like when they weren't that well known though at that point in time.
Yeah, I get that. My other thing with boxing is, I said this a couple of times, there's just too many promotions, so you lose track of who's champion for what.
Yeah.
Hey, I got an easy solution for you. You ready? Google is your friend. Google is your friend. Google is your friend.
What for the?
But what I'm saying is, like, UFC, you know who the champion of the weight class is.
Just one belt, because this is
exactly
one organization. Boxing is just sanctioned everywhere else.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's just kind of how it goes. But I think that'll do it for this week, though.
Yep.
We all good? We good?
Yes, because I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
All
That's so much
right.
information. So, thanks for joining us this week, and come join us next week here for So What's the Catch, sometimes on All Sports Cleveland.
Where we put Charlie in his own box.
Yes.
I mean, I don't get put in a box. I chose this box.
Nobody puts Turk in a corner.
Nope.
Nope.
Not at all.